Hi, Steve here, and it's time for me to get back to my dieting. It's been a while since I've made a video. I just had another baby daughter, and my computer hasn't been working for the past few months, so that's why I haven't been making these videos, and it's caused me to slack on my diet. I probably put on a couple more pounds. I think I was 238 the last video log I made. Now I'm about 250 again. But I have been going to the gym still, and surprisingly my body fat is down from 32% to 25%. But anyway, I haven't been sticking to my diet like I should, and I think it's mainly because I haven't been making these videos. These videos are the only thing that keeps me motivated to stay on the diet. Anyway, but the true motivation is I have two daughters, little girls, a 2-month and a 4-year-old. And I'm not going to have any energy to take care of them if I don't get in better shape. So I need these videos kind of to keep me on track. Anyway, so I'll be back on my diet. I'll be making a video once a week and just sharing dorky things like my video games or movies. So anyway, I've acquired some dorky things over the past few months, and I thought I'd share them with you today just for something to do for the video. Next week I'll show my Sega Dreamcast collection, but today I'm just going to show you stuff I picked up over the past few months. So anyway, I picked up this Nintendo 64 with no accessories at the Goodwill for $10. I know that's not such a great price with no attachments or anything, but my other Nintendo 64 is getting kind of dodgy, so I thought I'd buy this for backup. And then my wife found this Namco plug and play for me for $1, so I can play Pacman now. My wife and I are really big into Godzilla movies and kaiju movies in general, so I found a couple of those. I found Godzilla 1984. I remember the American version was Godzilla 1985. I think Return of Godzilla is the name of this movie, but it came out in the United States and it was Godzilla 1985. I remember that was one of my favorites when I was a kid. But this is the Japanese version. I like to have the American version too, but this will do for now. I haven't been able to find this one in a long time. And then we got this Monster X Strikes Back, which is pretty funny. It's like a parody of old 60s and 70s Godzilla movies. It's actually really funny. And then for my birthday, my sister got me this movie, Beautiful Prison. I really have been wanting to watch this for a long time. It's written and directed by Joel Valley. He's a filmmaker from New Mexico. And he has a really cool YouTube channel that I watch. And I like the guy a lot. He's really funny and he has a lot of interests that I do. So I really like his channel. But I found out he was a movie director. And this is a horror thriller. I saw there were some zombies on the trailer, so I think I might like it. I think I'm going to watch this today. And then I got this soundtrack. The funny thing is, I've been wanting this for a long time, this For Your Eyes Only soundtrack. Love a drive in the country, don't you? Yeah, but anyway, I'll stop gushing about James Bond movies. Oh, speaking of movies, I got some more Laserdiscs. I don't have a Laserdisc player, but I feel like I should buy these things when I see them because they're like 50 cents. Just to collect them. I don't know, it's kind of silly. But I got Street Fighter on a Laserdisc. If I see anything Street Fighter that's a bargain, I'll get it. I even like the movie. I know it's not that good, but there's a special place in my heart for this movie. It's so ridiculous. I really like it, actually. And then Never Say Never Again on Laserdisc. I love this movie. I've always liked this movie. I know it's not an official Eon production, but for not being part of the main series, it's really good. It's got Sean Connery. And then License to Kill on Laserdisc with Timmy D. I love this movie so much. When I was a kid, I think I saw it at the show 3 times. I was probably about 9 or 10 years old at the time. And there's some scary parts in it. Anyway, and then oh, can't forget about this. I finally found this movie, The Sorcerer. I've been looking for this movie for years. But anyway, here's The Sorcerer with Roy Scheider. It's by William Friedkin. Friedkin, I can't really pronounce his name. He directed The French Connection and The Exorcist, and I love The French Connection. And The Exorcist is good, but I don't really watch it that much because it's too satanic. But anyway, this movie, like all of William Friedkin's movies, is really gritty, almost feels like a documentary. There just really aren't any movies like this anymore. This is really good. I wish I had have seen it sooner. It came out the same year as Star Wars, so I think it went under the radar in '77. But man, this is really a hidden classic. Anyway, I can't do the movie enough justice talking about it. You just, if you ever see this movie anywhere, pick it up, or hopefully it'll come to Netflix so everyone will have access to it. Anyway, then I got some games. I got this Kingdom Hearts 258x2 for DS. It was sealed up in the package for $2 at the Goodwill. And I'm not really into Kingdom Hearts. I never really played them. So I don't know if I'm going to keep this or trade it for something, but I thought that was a good deal. $2 for that game. I think these Kingdom Hearts are very popular. And then I did have some time to play some games while my computer hasn't been working, and my daughter was little enough where I could just hold her and play video games, but she's starting to not dig that anymore, so I don't really have much time now to play games. But the first couple of weeks she was born, I was able to play some games I already had, but I got the PS4 version of Resident Evil 4, the HD version. This is my favorite game of all time by far. So I wanted to get the HD version. I played it through a few times. I even did a speed run on it. I've never done that before. I did a speed run on it and I got done with the game in about 2 hours and 11 minutes on New Game Plus on Professional. So I know that's not the best, but I think I was ranked like within the top 200 on PS4 for New Game Plus. So that's good enough for me. And then I got Resident Evil 6. I never played it through completely. I kind of got turned off by it because it didn't have tank controls. And I think tank controls are what makes Resident Evil games good. This one's just like any standard third-person shooter, which is cool. But I was kind of disappointed they got rid of the tank control. So I kind of got turned off by this game. And it wasn't until recently I actually played through the whole thing, and it's actually really good. It's a lot different, but I mean, I can't take away from the effort that was put into this game. It feels like an interactive Michael Bay movie. Some people might take that as a bad thing. I think that's a good thing if it feels like a high-budget action movie. It really goes off the beaten path with Resident Evil. I think you're even in a helicopter, having a helicopter battle with like an Apache or a Tiger helicopter. At one point, it's really not so much Resident Evil, it's more like a Paul W.S. Anderson movie, which I think isn't a bad thing. Yeah, I missed out on that for a long time. It's actually pretty fun. And then I got my baby fixed, my laptop, my Samsung. I think it's got Intel i7 core. So I can put some games on here now. I can start working on editing again, so I can make videos again. And I can start working on my little animated movie project that I put off for a while because my computer doesn't work. Shark Attack in Space 64. Which really sucks, but it's something I'm proud that I'm making myself. I've never gone to film school or anything. I've just always liked movies, and I've always wanted to make my own movie. And I didn't know anything about animation or 3D model building until I started making my movie. And it sucks by anyone's standards, but I'm just happy that I'm going to be able to make an animated movie. and complete it eventually. It'll make the room look like The Godfather, but I'm just glad I'm gonna have a movie that I can say is mine. Oh, and then another thing I don't have time to play is Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild for Nintendo Wii. We saved $300 by just getting the Wii U version instead of buying a Nintendo Switch, which eventually we're going to get one, I'm sure. We always end up getting every new video game console, but this is pretty darn impressive. I would never think the Wii U could have handled something like this. Just personally, this looks better than anything that was on PS3 or Xbox 360. I don't know if it's just the way the art style is, but and then it's so immersive and so huge, and there's so much to do, and the controls are really tight. I haven't played it much. My wife has played it quite a bit, but the only complaint she has is that the button layout is different from what you'd expect on 360 or PS3. So that's pretty much the only complaint she's got. I understand this is regarded as one of the best games ever made, and I can see why. I don't know if I'll ever have time to play it. This might be another game I have to wait and play it when I retire. And then my wife got me some t-shirts for my birthday. If you didn't know already, I'm a huge James Bond fan, and I like video games too, so she got me this shirt. Bond Villain Death Battle, or Bond Villain Deathmatch t-shirt. Sort of in the style of Street Fighter 2 or Mortal Kombat, but with all of the, or some of the Bond villains and henchmen there. And then she got me this Zorin Industries shirt. There's Zorin Industries. I'm gonna wear these if I ever go to a convention or something, so Bond fans will spot me out and come talk to me about James Bond movies, because I don't really know any people at all that are into James Bond movies like I am. Anyway, so I hate to ramble on. That's all I'm going to do today. So I'm getting back onto my diet, so hopefully I'll lose some weight by next week. I'm about 250, 255 now. I'll start officially weighing myself next week. So I'm going to get down and serious with this diet again. So anyway, next week I'll share my progress with my diet and my Sega Dreamcast collection. Bye!